This 4-game stretch that you've had, scoring 20 points every game tonight, perfect from the field, do you start to feel internally that you're starting to prove to everybody what you've known about what you can do in this league and how consistent you can be with that?
I'm worried about Kuminga. I'm hearing too many things about him off the court in terms of his head.
8 for 8. Look at him. Kuminga. I'm going to just go out on a limb and say 9 for 9. He has risen to the occasion. He's been doing this lately, though. His teammates love it. Step up.
Draymond shared with us that he has no relationship with Jonathan Kuminga. And it blew me away because I'm like, you're the leader.
I don't know him, yet I'm trying to lead him. And that's something that Coach Izzo taught me as a freshman. Draymond, how can you lead somebody if you don't know them?
Kuminga, his confidence is at 1 billion right now.
I wouldn't say proving. I mean, I'm definitely getting confidence from everybody, mostly Draymond.
The Golden State Warriors have played their first game back since the tragic passing of assistant coach Dejan Milojevic, and while the team is still reeling from the loss, the game they played couldn't have gone better. I'll admit that I wasn't sure whether the team would be able to play together considering these circumstances, or whether they would fold under the pressure. But what happened showed something about this Warriors team we haven't seen all season. Not only that, but if you haven't been watching Jonathan Kuminga lately, you better grab a seat and watch the rest of this video. Hey, what's happening, everyone? This is Switch Culture. The Warriors just beat the feathers off the Atlanta Hawks in a 134-112 dusting. Yet again, the inconsistency of the team shows. But this time, the results favor the home team. What Jonathan Kuminga is doing is very special, so be sure to watch the whole video. You don't want to miss the surprise at the end. Before that though, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to Switch Culture for the most analytical and entertaining NBA content on the planet. So without further delay, let's get to it. From the moment I laid eyes on Kuminga, long before he was drafted, I had my sights set on Jonathan Kuminga. I first read about him as a prospect when he was just a junior in high school. He was touted as a raw prospect who still needed a ton of development, but his tangible assets and his trajectory make him a lottery pick worth risking. After seeing that JK had only been playing basketball for the last 4 years up to that point, since he was 13, I was actually quite shocked to see how well his game has developed over that time period. At that point, he was ranked as the 4th best overall prospect. The Warriors had the Timberwolves pick, and in a best-case scenario, the Dubs would have a shot at drafting him. Following his decision to play in the G League for Ignite instead of going the college route, his draft stock fell as he averaged 16 points and 7 rebounds while shooting just 39% from the field and 25% from 3. In a league dominated by three-point shooting, players that don't show the capability for an outside shot are usually not seen as elite prospects without elite size, and at 6'8", as he was listed at the time, Kuminga would have an uphill battle. It didn't help that the Ignite program was new and he didn't get the development he would have received in college. He somehow fell to the Warriors at 7th overall behind Josh Giddey, and it was, in my opinion, a no-brainer for the Warriors to draft him. Following draft night, the critics came out in full force. But where most saw what he was lacking in development, I saw what he could become when given the chance to develop. In 1996, the Warriors made a grave mistake that cost a few executives their jobs.
With the 11th pick in the 1996 NBA Draft, the Golden State Warriors select Todd Fuller from North Carolina State University.
But Bob Myers just might have made up for that mistake 27 years ago when he selected Jonathan Kuminga. Fast forward to his 3rd year in the league, and over the last 4 games, Kuminga has been averaging 24 points and 7 rebounds per game in just 28 minutes. But hold on. That's on just 14.7 shots per game. That's 31 points and 9 rebounds per 36 minutes. This is flat out ridiculous, considering he's coming off the bench and isn't a featured player. Not convinced? Okay, let's keep going. Now I'll probably lose a few of you here, but hear me out. Kobe wasn't always Kobe. It becomes eye-opening, however, when you put these two players together statistically speaking and then corroborate the facts. Kobe was 18 years and 2 months when he started playing for the Lakers. Kuminga was exactly 19 when he started, so just about a 10 months age difference between the two. If this doesn't show you what's wrong with trading Jonathan Kuminga, I don't know what will. Here's a graphic comparing Kobe's rookie year to Jonathan Kuminga's. Keeping in mind that Kobe is a 2-guard, while Kuminga is a 3 who's been playing the 4 most of his career so far. There's no clear definition of who's a better player at this point in their careers. Both players took around the same number of shots, with Kuminga taking 14 per game and Kobe shooting 13.8. With virtually no difference in the number of shots, Kuminga is averaging 2 more points per game on much better efficiency. By the way, by the end of Kobe's rookie campaign, one specific team fired its general manager for not selecting Kobe. But we won't stop there. In their second year in the league, you might think, aha, this is where Kobe separates himself. He elevates his game to 21 points per game with 3.5 assists. Well, while Kuminga has 4 less points, he also took 3 less shots than Kobe as well, with only 12.8 attempts per game to Kobe's 16. Kuminga also shot better from 3 and continues to shoot better from the field. By the way, both players are attempting the same number of 3s per game, right around 2. Kobe became an all-star this year. Kuminga as well has been charged with guarding the opposing team's best player. Still, we're currently in Kuminga's 3rd year, 1 year removed from Kobe winning his first championship with Shaq. Surely Kobe will have separated himself from Jonathan Kuminga at this point. You'd be within your right to think that, but you'd also be within your right to be wrong. While taking virtually the same number of shots, 15.4 for Kuminga and 15.6 for Kobe, JK is averaging 3 more points per 36 minutes than Kobe in his 3rd year. That year, Kobe played 50 games and started every single one. Statistically, Kuminga's 3rd year blows Kobe's out of the water, where Kobe's only advantages were in assists, where it's expected considering Kobe's a guard, and free throw percentage, where it's also expected considering JK hasn't been playing basketball for nearly as long as Kobe, and his shooting has clearly been improving. Now, this isn't to say Kuminga is going to be a better player than Kobe, but GMs lost their jobs for not selecting a guy like Kuminga just 2 inches shorter. When I made the video at the beginning of the season saying that Jonathan Kuminga is him, I was brutally criticized. Yet here we are, mid-season, and Jonathan Kuminga is now the Warriors' most prolific offensive weapon on any given night while putting clamps on opposing teams' point of attack. Draymond Green screaming at the sideline saying, "They can't stop you," while watching Kuminga be as unguardable as Kobe 1 year before winning his first championship. JK put up 28 points against the Bucks after going 9 for 9 from the field, eventually ending the game with 12 attempts where he missed the last 3. This set the stage for what was about to happen next, as he went 11 for 11 from the field. That's right, a perfect shooting night for Kuminga, with half his attempts coming from mid-range pull-ups. This tied Hall of Famer Chris Mullins for the most field goals made without a miss in franchise history. Jonathan Kuminga is also the youngest player in NBA history to put up 25 or more points on 100% field goal efficiency. So, yeah, you don't trade players that you drafted who break your franchise records. And I have a feeling it's just the beginning. One of his best plays of the night, however, came against Jalen Johnson, who was unable to contain Kuminga for the entirety of the night. The amazing development in JK's footwork executed to flawless perfection really makes you think, knowing this kid is still only 21 years old, coming off the bench, and for some reason, no one, absolutely no one, has been able to stop him from scoring. If you haven't realized it by now, you're witnessing history. You heard it here first. The Warriors have already entered a new era. Watching Kuminga's game, you can't be surprised considering he idolized Kobe, and fundamentally, that's where a lot of his game comes from. JK's taller, is a better scorer, rebounder, and is more efficient. While some of you will argue that it was harder to score when Kobe played, I'd argue it's harder to score off the bench on an offense that doesn't utilize you as a primary scorer. When you consider that Kobe played organized basketball before Kuminga even knew about the sport, you really begin to get an understanding of just what the Warriors are sitting on right now. It may not be the next Kobe, but every bit of evidence points to Kuminga being potentially just as good, or even better. It may not be the end of the Steve Kerr era, but he's got two choices: act accordingly, or get the hell out of the way. I liken the current Warriors to a brief story I recall. If you try to teach a fish how to climb a tree, it will spend the entirety of its life thinking it's a complete idiot. Thanks for watching. Till next time. Swish!